If your Social Security check is going directly into a bank account or onto a prepaid card right now, stop everything and watch every second of this video, because what just changed at the Social Security Administration will directly determine whether your money arrives next month or gets locked inside a fraud resolution process that can take weeks to untangle. I am not here to alarm you for views. I am here because most of the 48 million Americans receiving Social Security direct deposit payments have no idea that a federal policy change has already gone into effect, and the SSA is not sending letters about it, not making courtesy calls, and not offering a grace period. This is the kind of change that gets published in the Federal Register, the official daily journal of the United States federal government, where regulatory decisions live in legal language that no one translates into plain English for the people most affected. That is exactly what I am doing today. By the end of this video, you are going to understand 3 critical warnings that could protect your monthly income. Protect your family from a criminal threat that stole $445 million from American seniors last year alone, and protect you from a silent payment hold that the government will not warn you about before it happens. I am holding back the single most important revelation in this entire video until the very end, and I am going to be teasing it throughout everything I tell you because it is the one piece that makes all the rest of it actionable. Do not click away. What I say for the final minutes of this video is the thing that separates seniors who keep getting paid on time from seniors who spend weeks fighting to get their money back. Here is what changed. The Social Security Administration has officially and permanently terminated the ability for any benefit recipient to update or change their direct deposit banking information over the telephone. That channel is closed. The 1-800-772-1213 number that tens of millions of seniors have used for decades to manage their accounts can no longer be used to change where your payment goes. This did not happen quietly or by accident. It was a deliberate federal response to an 800% surge in AI-powered voice fraud targeting Social Security recipients, and the regulatory authority for this change was published in the Federal Register without a single press release, without any media explanation, and without any outreach to the recipients it affects most directly. You did not get a letter, you did not get a call. You are finding out right now in this video. And that means you are already ahead of the millions of Americans who will find out only after their payment stops arriving. Let me give you the 3 warnings. Warning number 1 is this: the phone channel is gone, and treating it like it still exists will cost you your check. For years, the process was simple. Your bank changed, your card was compromised, your account was frozen, and you picked up the phone, waited on hold, and got your direct deposit rerouted to the new account. That process is finished. If you call the SSA today to change your direct deposit over the phone, the representative will tell you they cannot process that request. The system will not permit it. The rule change is not a glitch. It is not temporary. It is a permanent, structural elimination of the verbal update channel for direct deposit modifications. And here is the context that makes this even more urgent. The SSA recorded over 330,000 impersonation complaints in the current year. 330,000 real Americans, overwhelmingly seniors, were contacted by criminals impersonating Social Security Administration employees. These were not clumsy scam calls. These were operations where the fraudsters knew names, knew benefit amounts, knew partial Social Security numbers, and in many cases used sophisticated audio technology to sound exactly like someone the recipient knew and trusted. The goal in most of those cases was to convince the recipient to authorize a direct deposit change that would send their monthly check to an account controlled by the criminal. The SSA's decision to end phone-based direct deposit updates was a direct response to that volume of fraud. It is the right call for system security. But the impact on legitimate recipients, especially those in rural areas with limited transportation and no online accounts, is serious and immediate. There are now only 2 ways to change your direct deposit information. One is an in-person visit to your nearest Social Security field office with valid government-issued photo identification and the documentation required to process what the agency records as a direct deposit authorization. Update. 2 is your My Social Security online account at ssa.gov. I am going to walk you through exactly how to set that up before the June 10th enforcement deadline, but not yet, because there is something you need to understand about the threat environment first, and it is warning number 2, and it is the one that should make every senior watching this call their family tonight. Warning number 2 is the AI voice cloning threat and the one free strategy that neutralizes it. Here is the technical reality. Artificial intelligence audio synthesis tools have reached a level of accuracy where a criminal with as little as 30 seconds of your voice, or the voice of a family member, can generate a phone call that sounds completely real. The voice, the tone, the cadence, the specific speech patterns, all of it cloned and reproduced in real time. These tools are not experimental. They are available. They are being used right now. And they are being deployed specifically against seniors because seniors are statistically more likely to trust a voice they recognize, more likely to comply with urgency framing, and more likely to have fixed monthly income that creates a predictable financial target. The FTC and the SSA have both confirmed that seniors lost $445 million to elder fraud in the most recently reported period. And both agencies acknowledge that figure is a significant undercount because elder fraud is dramatically underreported. Many seniors do not come forward because they are embarrassed. Many others do not realize they have been defrauded until their direct deposit fails to arrive, and by then the money is gone. The voice cloning threat directly intersects with the phone ban policy because fraudsters are now calling seniors, cloning the voice of an adult child or a grandchild, and manufacturing an emergency that creates pressure to take immediate action with a bank account or a social security number. The call sounds real, the urgency feels real. The voice is real enough to fool even people who are on guard. There is a defense, and it requires no technology, no apps, and no money. It is the family safe word. Every household, every family, every senior with a direct deposit account needs to do this today. You agree on a single word or short phrase known only to your immediate family. You do not write it anywhere that could be accessed. You do not send it digitally. You commit it to memory. Then you establish a household rule. Anyone who calls claiming to be a family member in distress, claiming to be from the SSA, claiming to be from your bank, or requesting any action involving your account information must provide the safe word before the conversation continues. If they cannot give you that word immediately and correctly, you end the call without explanation. You do not engage, you do not argue. You hang up and you contact the real person or the real agency using a number you verify independently. This is not a precaution anymore. It is a mandatory defense against technology that has already stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from people exactly like the ones watching this video. The SSA themselves has acknowledged that their own phone representatives were being deceived by AI-generated voices attempting to impersonate real benefit recipients in order to authorize fraudulent direct deposit changes. That is why the phone channel had to close. If trained federal employees with verification protocols could be fooled, you need the safe word as your personal firewall. Set it up today. Tell your family today. But here is what I have been holding back. The safe word protects you from external criminals trying to steal your money from outside. What I have not told you yet is the specific scenario that causes seniors to lose weeks of their own legitimate Social Security payments through no criminal activity at all. Just a bank account problem, a failed delivery, and no online account to fix it with. That scenario is the real danger hidden inside this policy change. And warning number 3 is the exact step-by-step process that prevents it. Stay with me because this is the payoff. Warning number 3. Your My Social Security account at ssa.gov is no longer optional. It is the only self-service safety net you have under this new system. And if you do not have it active before June 10th, you are one banking problem away from a multi-week payment gap. Here is the specific scenario I want you to picture. Your bank merges with another institution and your account number changes. Or your prepaid card issuer shuts down your card due to suspected fraud activity on their end, not yours. Or your bank freezes your account pending a routine verification. Any of those things can cause your direct deposit to fail. The SSA generates the payment, sends it to the account on file, the bank rejects it, and the payment is returned to SSA Treasury, where it is held pending a corrected banking instruction from you. You will not receive an automatic paper check as a replacement. There is no backup delivery method that activates without action from you. The SSA will not call you to notify you of the returned payment. The burden of fixing the situation, submitting new direct deposit information, and getting the payment released rests entirely on you. Without a My Social Security account, your only path is in person. For millions of Americans in rural counties, that means driving to a field office that may be 40 minutes away, an hour away, or further, bringing identity documents, completing the direct deposit authorization paperwork that the office processes through their internal forms, waiting for processing. This does not happen in one day. This is the silent payment gap that is coming for unprepared seniors, and it is the thing nobody at the SSA is calling to warn you about. So let me give you the step-by-step setup for your My Social Security account right now. Open a browser and go to ssa.gov. On the home page, you will find the option to sign in or create an account. Click Create an Account. The SSA now routes all account creation through login.gov, which is the federal government's unified identity verification platform. You will need three things: a valid email address, a phone number capable of receiving text messages, and a government-issued photo identification document, either your driver's license or your state-issued ID card. Begin the login.gov registration using your email and create a secure password. The identity verification step will prompt you to photograph or upload both the front and back of your photo ID. If you are on a smartphone, you do this directly with your camera. If you are on a desktop without a scanner, ask a family member to take the photos using their phone and transfer them to your device for upload. Once login.gov confirms your identity, you return to ssa.gov and link that verified login.gov account to your Social Security record. You will confirm your legal name, date of birth, and current address as they appear in SSA records. Once that information matches, your My Social Security account is fully active. From that account, you can update your direct deposit information at any time, view your benefit verification letter, review your full payment history, check your earnings record, and request a replacement Social Security card if needed. The entire setup process takes most people between 15 and 30 minutes. Those 30 minutes are the difference between resolving a banking problem in the same day from your own home and spending days in a field office waiting room. The June 10th deadline is the date after which this policy is in full enforcement with no transitional accommodations and no phone alternative under any circumstances. Now here is the piece I promised you. The single most important rule that the vast majority of people will still miss even after watching this entire video from start to finish: your Social Security benefit is not being reduced. Your right to receive your payments is not being taken away. The dollar amount you are owed is not changing. What this policy change affects is the delivery mechanism only. The SSA will continue generating your full payment every single month exactly as scheduled. What changes is what happens if the delivery fails and you are not positioned to correct it instantly. The hidden rule is this: a return payment is not a lost payment until it sits unresolved long enough to create downstream consequences, but it also does not automatically reroute or self-correct. It sits in Treasury awaiting your instruction, and every day it sits, there is a day you are without income that is legally yours. The phone ban is the headline. The silent Treasury hold is the actual threat. And the My Social Security account is the only self-service tool that lets you resolve it before it becomes a crisis. Now you know the full picture. You know why the phone ban happened. You know how the AI voice cloning fraud works and how to stop it cold with a family safe word. You know exactly what to do at ssa.gov before June 10th and why it matters more than anything else you could do today to protect your monthly income. If this video gave you information you needed, subscribe to this channel right now. Every video I publish is built around the same mission: finding the rules, the exemptions, the deadlines, and the policy changes that affect Social Security, Medicare, and senior benefits before they hit mainstream coverage, and explaining them in plain English before the damage is done. Then share this video with every senior you know today. Share it with your parents, your neighbors, your friends, your family members who are on Social Security and who you know have not set up an online account. Share it with the seniors in your community who are most likely to be in rural areas, furthest from a field office, and most vulnerable to a payment gap. The government is not going to call them before their money stops. There is no courtesy warning coming. This change is already in effect. Go to ssa.gov right now and get your My Social Security account created before June 10th. That is the only action item that matters from everything you just watched. Your check is your right, protect it.